All right, let's talk about a topic that tends to freak a lot of students out, SAT trigonometry. But I'm going to let you in on a little secret. It's probably one of the easiest, most predictable places to snag quick points on the entire test. So let's dive in and see how.
And honestly, this is the perfect way to look at it. We are about to completely bust the myth that trig is hard. This isn't about memorizing 100 different formulas. No way. It's about understanding one simple idea that just has 3 basic moods. By the end of this, you'll see it's actually pretty friendly.
So let's get right to the foundation of it all. What's the one thing the SAT keeps testing over and over again? It's not some weird, complex geometry. Nope. It all comes down to one single shape. And that right there should be a huge weight off your shoulders. Seriously, you can forget about all the other kinds of triangles. Every single trigonometry question you'll see on the SAT boils down to the relationships inside this one simple shape. The real key is just knowing its parts like the back of your hand.
So let's break down these labels, because they're way simpler than they sound. The hypotenuse, that's the easy one. It's always the longest side, right across from that little 90-degree box. Now the other two, opposite and adjacent, they actually change depending on which angle you're looking from. Opposite is literally the side across the triangle from your angle, and adjacent just means next to. If you can get that down, you are already halfway to mastering this.
All right, so if the right triangle is our playing field, then SOHCAHTOA is our playbook. And you know what the best part is? It's the only play you really, truly need to know. Let's unpack what this famous little phrase actually means. These are the 3 moods of trigonometry we mentioned. That's all it is. So Hay tells us that the sine of an angle is just the length of the opposite side divided by the hypotenuse. Ka means cosine is the adjacent side over the hypotenuse. And toa means tangent is the opposite side over the adjacent. They're not scary formulas, they're just simple recipes. And this is so important to remember. The SAT is not trying to test how fast you can punch numbers into a calculator. It's testing if you get these basic relationships. They just want to see if you can spot the sides and set up the right fraction. That's it. No crazy decimals, just clean, simple ratios.
Okay, now that we have SOHCAHTOA in our back pocket, let's talk about a major shortcut. I mean, a huge one. The people who make the SAT, they love to hide these little gifts inside the math section. And in trig, those gifts come in the form of 2 very special triangles.
You have got to memorize these 2. Seriously, burn them into your brain. For a 45-45-90 triangle, it's easy. The 2 legs are always equal, and the hypotenuse is just that leg length times the square root of 2. For the 30-60-90, the sides always follow a simple pattern. 1, the square root of 3, and 2. If you spot one of these on the test, you don't even need SOHCAHTOA. You can solve it in seconds. Now, what's really cool is how all these ideas work together. It's like they layer on top of each other. You've got the Pythagorean theorem that connects the 3 sides right. A squared plus b squared equals c squared. And then you've got SOHCAHTOA, which connects an angle to the sides. This means if you have just 2 little pieces of information, like 2 sides or 1 side at an angle, you can unlock the entire triangle. Okay, this is it. The part where most people get stuck, word problems. But they aren't scary if you know the secret. Every single trig word problem on the SAT is just a right triangle wearing a costume. Our job is to see past the story and find the triangle hiding underneath. These are the classic setups. When you read a question about the height of a flagpole or a ladder leaning against a wall, or you see the phrase, angle of elevation or angle of depression, a little alarm should go off in your head. Ding, ding, ding. This is a right triangle problem. These are your key words.
And here is your foolproof plan of attack. Do this every single time. Don't try to solve it in your head. First, draw the picture. It doesn't have to be pretty. Second, label your sides: hypotenuse, opposite, adjacent, based on the angle you care about. Third, pick your tool from the toolbox: so, ka, or toa. And finally, solve for whatever's missing. That's the system.
So, the SAT knows the common places where students mess up. It's a predictable test, which also means the traps are predictable. Let's learn to spot them so you can just walk right around them. The traps are usually pretty simple. The number one mistake is just mixing up opposite and